Well, I'm seeing plenty, but unfortunately this particular area, which we call locally Squirrel Wood, which is just a little wood in the middle of the golf course, but it's absolutely been riddled over the years with squirrels. And I've seen a load this morning, but they're all in the usual transport corridor, which is down that bottom end, and I don't shoot over the horizon or anywhere near. So the golfers, so if I zoom in, you can still see little greys just popping about. See, there's another one, but I would never ever attempt a shot at that. One, it's too far away. That's a 30-yard marker there. You can see I've got a bit of wood backstop, so there's no pellets going to the tree, but it's a good way of zeroing your scope at 30. I've got another one over here at 25, and again it's a wood on the tree, so there's no pellets going to the tree. You can actually see signs there, a little bit of bark and stripping going on, so hence the need to control the greys in this area. My feeder, this particular one, is feeder, I think it's feeder 3 out of the 6. This big super duper feeder. It is going to need a little bit of work. It's the first one I ever made with a perspex window, so you can see your feed level. I've just topped it up this morning. It was about halfway. Haven't been down here for months. And obviously you can see the birds where the woodpeckers drill these little holes. Love to get a feed, which I don't mind. Helps the birds in the area. I have actually put up, which you can see, some bird boxes. There's one there. I refurbed them. I put another one up here. You can see there. And if I pan the camera around to the right and zoom out, sorry for my zooming, there you go. There's another one. You can see I've got the metal plates on. So you're supposed to put them up in 3s by all accounts, and the birds do use them. So it's nice to see. You'll see in this video, obviously you captured a greater crested woodpecker. So we've got a few woodpeckers kicking about, which is nice to see in one sense, although he has destroyed the predecessor of that camera, so I'm yet to go and check the camera. There's another one over there, look. Just caught my eye. So there's plenty kicking about, it's just they don't come to the feeder. They're in nut stashing mode. If I zoom out again, this wood is covered in beech trees, and there's a few oak trees at the top, so there's plenty of acorns. And this particular year, they have absolutely, with a drought in summer in North Yorkshire, they've had a sea of nuts at their disposal. And they normally, if I just pull the camera around and push it out there, I'm just pushing it out behind. They normally, this particular area to the left is actually the soft ground where they normally have shot loads over the years. When it's been the depths of winter and they're going into nut retrieval mode. But this feeder has always been busy, but I think it's just a bit early still. We've got normally late November this feeder really heats up, but the weather's been so mild and sunny, and although the leaves have come down, excuse me, you have still got nuts kicking around the floor, and you can see them being busy stashing all those nuts for the depths of winter. I will need to put a new bird feeder up, because it looks like this one's been absolutely hammered now with the weather. It's an anti-squirrel one, and I normally start this time of year putting suet balls in and helping the bird population, just put some weight on. But obviously they've got the access to some feed there, you can see on my feeder platform. There's a mix in there of mainly, if I can try and zoom in, apologies for my camera work, there's mostly about 80% peanuts, and there is some little sunflower hearts and some birdseed mixed in. So when the greys are spitting out the stuff they don't want, because they really want the peanuts, then obviously it goes all over the floor down below. and we've got pheasants and rabbits and all kinds that come and get a feed. There's a few hedgehogs, although I don't like the peanuts getting spilled, the hedgehogs, because it can choke them if they're damp. But there's not that many. There is a badger set behind me, and obviously badgers are well known for predating on hedgehogs. So there's my setup in this particular area. This is feeder 3. I'll just zoom in over there, you'll see some golfers. There we go. We'll not get too close for GDPR, but basically you can see the horizon of where is pretty much out of bounds for safe pellet trajectories. I never really shoot more than 35 yards. I'll come this way, you'll see another grey, look. He was just kicking about there. Look, whether he comes to the feed or not will remain to be seen. But you can see them in scratchy flea mode and looking for nuts to stash. Let's hope he comes to the feeder. Well, I'm signing out, and just in case he does, I'll get ready. Thanks for watching. It's a lovely shot. Instant kill. Quite a distance from the hide, but it was right on 31 yards. So beautiful, humane kill. We've had a walk and stalk this morning because there's nothing coming to the feeder, so I thought I would take the fight to them. And I've been walking up the tree lines, stalking up a few, because luckily I'm in my camo today. Normally I'm dressed all in black. So quick look, there you go. And we've been into some of these woods, stalked a few. There's quite a lot over in the badgers set area down there, the Dean, which is over that ridge. But we're coming back to central feeder and laid them here. We've got 4 males, which is good. That one's trying to high five me. Unfortunately, your time's up, pal. So, looking back at the hide, just blends in. It's made out of 6 pallets. It's about 20 yards. Right in the middle of what I call squirrel wood. It's a lovely little wood, this. I'm trying to attract bird life to it because there's not a lot of bird song. They are kicking about. They love getting a bit of seed. I'm going to have to renew this feeder, I think. Put a new anti-squirrel 3-in-1 bird feeder up. Well, we'll see how we get on later in the winter. So this is some pipe lagging just over the window. That's a neck pillow. That acts as a rest. And what we have is another feeder. This is going to need some maintenance, this one, because it needs a new base. You can see it's all delaminated, but the top half has been really well protected. But that base is showing signs of delaminating, in fact. So I'm going to have to take it down, put a new one up in its place and refurb that one. This was the one that used to have a yogurt pot in the lid as a water source, and I've shot quite a few greys off that with the stone behind. I've got a bird feeder round the back. I'll have to check that because it needs filling. Just round the back there, behind that tree, you can just see it under the lid there, swinging. That's a 3-in-1, so I'll put seed in there and suet and all kinds. That helps this little wood. It's only about, I would say, 200 yards across. It's a tiny little wood. I know the last 5 years I've shot probably 220 greys out of here. There's a little magpie. Oh, yeah, it is. Magpie just appeared. They still come. We'll see how we get on. So this is another feeder I've just replaced. I've just took it down, put a new one up. This was just a quick build, this one. Upon getting here, there was 2 squirrels kicking about, so I've dispatched both of them. They're in the bag in the back, which I think makes him number 9 for the morning. So this particular feeder has got the feed level windows. I haven't put the rain cover on yet because I ran out of aluminium. It's all meshed and beaded apart from the roof. As I say, it was a quick build, but it's pretty solid. Got the obligatory spinner on the side. I have got a bit of a backstop which you can't see because I put some wood branches there to help them off the floor, because a lot of them on this one, they come from the floor, and they do actually like to sit on that branch while they're waiting their turn. I've just put an anti-squirrel bird feeder up, which does help the woodpeckers in this area because they absolutely love the suet. There's a mix of seeds and nuts and stuff in there, but the activity does pull the greys into this area of the wood. It's right on the corner of the golf course, and I have actually got a feeder right the other end of that wood, which we'll go to in a second. So I tend to just camp here at about 25 yards. Got the obligatory blackout blind behind me. If I zoom out, there you go, blackout blind, so they can't, I'm not silhouetted. And I shoot with all the comforts of the Vito. Little rest there, neck pillow, got the pipe lagging, and I just pop my gun out and pop them off as they appear on the feeder. And I've got quite a big open view seeing them, so I can catch them on the thermal approaching. It's quite open ground, so it's quite a little successful feeder, this one. So look forward to getting back onto this one in the depths of winter and get some more numbers out of this wood. As you can hear, there's not much bird life going on. I know there's a lot of them migrated, but even so, there's hardly a tweet, and I aim to change that like we have elsewhere on the estate. Right, on to the next one. Come on then, can you see him? He's there, right in front of you. Trained eyes, come on. So zoom in a bit. There you go, a bit more. Can you see him? That's how well they are with their beautiful plumages. Although they're an introduced bird, they're not actually invasive. So zoom in on him. You see, he knows I'm here, but he's under no threat. I love seeing the pheasants. He just blends in. Amazing, look at that for camouflage. It's the white collar that gives it away, unfortunately, bonny lad, to the trained eye. But you just enjoy your kip. I'm gonna push on. This is invaluable. It's the Pard Leopard 640 LRF thermal spotter. It's absolutely amazing. Can detect a heat signature for a man at about 1500 metres. Obviously I'm only shooting 30-40 metres, so it's well within its capability of doing what I need to do. It's so neat. I bought it last year. Put the cover on. It's just absolutely amazing. And that's that feeder on the end where I just was. So I just go up a little bit more. Sometimes I approach from this way. The feeder's in that position. So invariably when I approach, I'll just zoom in, sorry, and in the Vito on private land. onto the platform on this side, so I can get them from both sides. And I do have a stick in the ground. I don't know where that's gone. I think I might have to redeploy it. I normally put a stick in the ground here, so when I get to the stick I know my window is 25 yards. I normally just creep past this silver birch tree, so the stick will be around here somewhere. I think it's just been flattened in the wind, and that's 25 yards. Again, shoot from my window, make sure there's no golfers on the green or approaching the green. It's a safe backstop usually into the little brook there, and I'll pop many a grey off there. Just pulled up into this section and I've seen 4 greys, but I think they've clocked me now. They were just out doing their little courtship routines as they do, chasing each other. They are somewhere. If I get the thermal, I'll be able to spot them easier. When they get a bit disturbed by something new, they tend to just freeze and hang upside down. Look, there's one on that tree there coming down. You can just see him. They tend to roll around, do forward rolls for some reason. There's the other one up there. If I zoom in, he's just gone behind that tree. There's the other one. They're chasing each other. Classic courtship routine. It's another little feeder. I say a little, it holds about 30 kilograms, but that's the delaminating one. Again, I just shoot it from the window. I tend not to hang around here too long because that is the sewer vent, and it absolutely stinks when the wind's blowing the wrong way. Not too bad today, but sometimes in summer it can be a bit of a pongy place to hang about, but needs must. Birdie getting a free feed. So I've been there early this morning. Just picking up all the little spilled nuts. I think there's a little grey up there coming down. Hopefully that's going to come to the feeder. Just caught it out my eye. So this one here is feeder 2, and I do the base all like lighter colour, silvery, to help highlight the greys, because if I zoom out you see sometimes it's really dark in there, so it just helps highlight the greys. And I've got a little like wind area here with a tree behind, so it's a nice safe backstop. And it holds about 30 plus kilograms, and the bird's just come and sit on there and get a little feed. And again, I'll shoot out the window on the pipe insulation, and I've swapped over to the Brocock Pathfinder, which I just recently got second hand. It's HW100 bullpup, and I left the Daystate Pulsar back at home because I thought I'll give these 2 analogues a bit of a try out. This one's got a PARD 008 S LRF, so it's got the ballistic calculator on. So I thought I'd give it a try out before I move back home. It's all zeroed. It's quite a nice little rifle. It's got the folding stock, which is really handy. So we'll see how we get on. This is the bypass feeder. I've shot absolutely hundreds off here. It's on a big tree line. It goes right up. And they use that as a transport corridor and then into this wood. It's amazing how many. And there's a big wood behind me, which I don't want to turn around. I enjoy just watching the birds. There is a bird feeder which you can't see. It's just on the camera tree. There's the camera straps. There's a bird feeder. Oh, you can see it actually. It needs topping up. I'll put some silk balls in there before I leave. That's it there, just hanging centre of picture. It keeps the squirrels out. It helps the birds. There's a couple of greys. There you can just see them. They're barking at each other. Oh, there's another one. You see the branches moving. Very Jurassic Park. You see the trees moving, but you can't see what's moving them. But they're there. They're barking at each other, which usually means they're not very happy. There's a few more up there, look. And some pigeons getting disturbed by them. So, trying to spot greys in amongst dense evergreens, and it's just, sometimes it's an impossible task. But occasionally you get lucky and they sit this side of a tree trunk. So we just scan the trees. We often sit in little V's and boughs. Obviously you've got to be careful where we shoot. We don't shoot where the pellet is going to go if it misses, because there's fields behind with sheep in, and there's obviously a road behind there about a couple 100 yards away. So you always got to be safe. And if you miss, you've got to know where your pellet's going to go. That means one just there, look. Hopefully it's going to go to the feeder. So we'll put the phone down and we'll get ready. Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed that little walk round and flavour of my feeders around my main permission in North Yorkshire. We finished on 11, which I was quite pleased with. We had to walk and stalk a few of the sites, the woods, the tree lines, because nothing was coming to the feeders bar a couple. Today they were all males. There's a couple of juvenile males. Obviously winter breeding is there's signs of that. Obviously all the chasey games and them going up and down trees and coming back down again is the typical sort of courtship behaviour. They do receive that much protein in food these days. These greys reportedly breed all year round, obviously being the rodents that they are. They have quite a number of kits, and obviously you see the numbers just multiply. I'm 5 years down the track on this permission. I've shot over 2,000 greys, and I think we're on for about 300-400 this year. So the numbers keep rising in terms of my tally count, but there is less greys seen in areas where I've got the feeders, which is good. And there's particular woods that were in that video that if you go early morning, absolutely teeming with birdsong now. Whereas as you can see on the video, there's some woods that just have no bird life at all, because the greys have predated upon all the bird nest boxes and birds' nests, and usually these first clutches of eggs are all just eaten and destroyed. So we're reversing that. The estate's been really good and they've appointed actually a biodiversity officer, planting lots of fruit trees and things like that for the birds. They've got added pond areas and things, so they're creating lots of insects habitations with wood stores and things just to help the overall ecosystem recover and thrive. And obviously they do help support my cause in eradication of these invasive species. They lost loads of trees about 3 years ago on the estate,
through obviously decades before I came on the scene of much ring barking that was going on. I think the year I started, they lost 12 trees through ring barking, and these were established trees. It just couldn't recover. There's one particular tree had 4 drays living inside the tree, and whenever you passed that tree, it was always covered in grey squirrels. And now you hardly see a grey squirrel in and around that area. So hopefully we've saved that oak tree, which has been there for hundreds of years, but it has got lots of damage on it through these greys. But anyway, so yes, I hope you enjoyed the video. We did finish on 11. They've all been now dropped off at the ferret rescue centre. Everything gets recycled, as they say. Nothing goes to waste. I did see the resident red kites on my way out, which is nice. We've attracted them last few years by leaving out food parcels, which in layman's terms is beheaded greys. The reason why I take the heads off is so there's no risk of any lead whatsoever to a raptor. Lead to any raptor is deadly, even the slightest trace of it. So we don't want to be poisoning our new inhabitants. So it's nice to see them. I know they're quite a bit of a pest, it seems, down in the south now, these red kites, but they did originate out of Harewood House, where the lord there actually bred 30 pairs, and what was nearly an extinct bird, he managed to recover the numbers and released a load, and the numbers have grown and grown and grown, and it is nice to see them. They're a fabulous looking bird, very majestic, rather like a golden eagle with the reddy browny plumage and the classic sort of V on the tail. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you on my next one. Bye for now.